Hello, I'm Viet Cường. You're watching Thái Nguyên News. Today's headlines. Leaders of Thái Nguyên Province met with Yên Bình Investment and Development Joint Stock Company. Thái Nguyên City inspects its flood prevention project. Coming Tea Festival, opening doors of international integration for tea producing and trading businesses. On April 7th, the Standing People's Council of Thái Nguyên Province and leaders of Thái Nguyên People's Committee had a meeting session with the representatives of Yên Bình Investment and Development Joint Stock Company. At the meeting, the leaders of Yên Bình Investment and Development Joint Stock Company presented a brief report on the implementation of the Yên Bình Complex project. At the same time, the representatives also heard the reports of the Department of Planning and Investment on the preferential policy for high-tech projects by Samsung in Yên Bình Industrial Zone. Accordingly, Samsung will be exempted from corporate income tax for 4 years and will be given a 50% tax deduction in the next 9 years. Thái Nguyên Province will shoulder 50% of the rental cost for the infrastructure of the project. Mr. Dương Ngọc Long, chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, highly appreciated the recent efforts of the Yên Bình Investment and Development Joint Stock Company. He also asked the company leaders to take environmental issues, wastewater treatment, and training of labor resource for Samsung into consideration. Mr. Vũ Hồng Bắc, chairman of the Provincial Council, requested the departments of the Provincial People's Council to examine and clarify some of the contents related to the project, such as the identification of the investors in the project, the corporate income tax preferences, the social security preferences, the public security and order, and environmental issues, etc. On the evening of April 5th in Hanoi, the Trường Sa Club of the Government Office meets with the missions of Trường Sa. Thái Nguyên Radio and Television Station is one of the special guests participating in the program. Established in 2010, the Trường Sa Club of the Government Office works regularly once a year with the expectation of being the meeting and exchange place of Trường Sa missions in the north of Vietnam. The meeting took place in a warm and emotional atmosphere. The different missions were moved to tell stories, brought back memories on the hardships that have fallen on dear Spratly Island. Recently, Thái Nguyên Radio and Television Station has sent its delegations of officials and reporters to visit and greet the Lunar New Year, worked in the Spratly Islands, the drilling rig 1, to be able to broadcast news, reportages, and memoirs on activities of protecting sovereignty and the lives of the soldiers and the people on Trường Sa Island District. It will be remembered that in May 2012, Thái Nguyên Radio and Television Station, in cooperation with the Department of Politics, Navy Army, launched the Navy program, contributing an important information channel on the direction of propagating the islands and seas for ethnic minorities in Thái Nguyên Province in particular and the entire country in general. On April 5th, the Steering Committee of Flood Prevention and Disaster Mitigation of Thái Nguyên City examined lakes, dams, and other critical areas in the province before the flood season. The delegation checked the current status and plans for flood prevention and disaster mitigation at Ba Da Dam area, the suspension bridge in Cam Giáo Ward, and the main dam of Núi Cốc Lake in Phúc Chiu Commune. These are the key locations of the city of Thái Nguyên where flood is most likely to occur. After checking the current status of the project, the Steering Committee of Flood Prevention of Thái Nguyên City asked its localities to focus on implementing flood prevention as planned, preparing adequate facilities, equipment, and materials for timely response to what may happen. In particular, the leaders of the Steering Committee of Flood Prevention of Thái Nguyên City asked its localities to spread out this information so that the community and its people will actively respond to disasters. In order to introduce obstetricians to new technical processes and technologies in prenatal screening for Down syndrome, on April 5th, Siemens Vietnam Limited Company, in collaboration with Thái Nguyên Hospital A, organized a reproductive health workshop entitled Solutions to Detecting Down Syndrome Before Birth. At the workshop, the participants and obstetricians from hospitals in Thái Nguyên province were introduced to new technical processes and technologies in prenatal screening for Down syndrome by leading experts in obstetrics, gynecology, medical testing, and genetics from major hospitals in Ho Chi Minh City. Currently, prenatal screening is only available in big cities such as Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. In other provinces, this kind of screening is still unpopular. Therefore, many obstetricians in Thái Nguyên propose the need to innovate the processes and technologies in screening Down syndrome and other defects at provincial hospitals so that early treatments can be conducted to help children develop normally and healthily, improving population quality. Through the promotion activities of labor supply and demand, in the first quarter of 2013, nearly 40 businesses inside and outside the province had a demand for recruitment of more than 16,000 employees, attracting more than 1,000 workers to participate. At the job fair, different businesses recruited nearly 350 employees to work domestically and over 260 workers registered to work abroad. In addition to the promotion of supply and demand, the province is also actively implementing measures to improve the quality of labor. In the middle of March 2013, Thái Nguyên province launched the campaign in response to the National Week of Occupational Safety and Hygiene, Firefighting and Explosion Protection, organized a 3-year preliminary review 2010-2012 in the project implementation of vocational training for rural laborers and deploy the plan 2013-2015. After 3 years of the implementation of vocational training for rural laborers, Thái Nguyên province had over 12,300 trained rural workers, and about 74% of them were employed after the training. Moreover, more than 4.5 thousand rural workers got loans and were provided jobs with a total budget of over 125 billion Vietnam dong. As a result, nearly 200 households are now out of poverty after apprenticeship. Over 180 poor households have improved their living standard. More than 3,000 rural workers after apprenticeship were promoted to jobs of the non-agricultural sector. Tea trees have long been grown in Thái Nguyên province thanks to its suitable soil and climate. Since then, the tea tree has become a kind of industrial plant that symbolizes its strength, greatly contributing to the socio-economic development of the province. This year, the second tea festival will be organized in Thái Nguyên. This event will once again create an opportunity of opening doors for international integration for tea producing and trading and other business opportunities in the province. The first International Tea Festival, Thái Nguyên, Vietnam 2011, ended in success with amazingly good effects for Thái Nguyên tea industry in particular and the tea industry of Vietnam in general. The festival paved the way for Thái Nguyên, the host, to make other people know more about Thái Nguyên and its people, especially the tea products of the land called the best place of tea. From this event, the tea producing and trading institutions in the area have actively introduced, promoted, sold, and expanded business links with other tea institutions and businesses abroad. An Lộc Sơn Limited Company took part in the International Tea Festival 2011 and earned awards such as the Gold Tea Bud Award and the Golden Tea Culture Award. The name An Lộc Sơn has become well known to many friends inside and outside Vietnam. In the past, the tea tree was merely a means to eradicate hunger and reduce poverty, but now it means well to a majority of tea growers and businesses in Thái Nguyên. With an area of over 18,000 hectares, tea trees have become the leading industrial plant of Thái Nguyên, making an average income of 100 million Vietnam dong per hectare per year. Currently, the tea export markets of Thái Nguyên are the Middle East, Taiwan, Singapore, France, Japan, China, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Russia, and Germany. With the practical effects from the first International Tea Festival, Thái Nguyên, Vietnam 2011, the second tea festival will be held at the end of 2013, with the hope of bringing in the same success as the first one, if not more.
Thái Nguyên đang chuẩn bị tổ chức lần thứ 2.
Thái Nguyên is preparing for the second tea festival, and the Department of Industry and Trade will support tea producing and trading enterprises and cooperatives through production and trade promotion programs, together with promoting e-commerce application, enabling businesses to advertise themselves and seek new markets. Tea Festival is an opportunity to introduce and publicize Thái Nguyên and its people and deliver its tea products to domestic and international markets. Besides such opportunities, Thái Nguyên tea industry and tea producing and trading institutions and tea growing farmers in the province hope to accelerate the process of integrating Thái Nguyên tea into the world. And that's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.